Allah, most perfect and most high above His creation, is the possessor of everything. He created whether His creatures are visible or invisible. Allah has absolute power over the heavens and the earth, the jinn, the fauna, the flora, and the minerals. Allah governs us in this life and in the next life. Everything is in His power, is controlled by Allah, is governed by Allah, and functions according to the law of Allah and will. When a believer truly understands this, he, the believer, will be able to make decisions about the course of his beautiful life with serenity, confidence, and faith, for he will not depend on anything or anybody other than Allah. If everybody that lives in this temporary world believed that Allah is the only true and absolute owner of everything and that Allah does not share this with anyone else, it would then become clear that nobody else than Allah has the same rights as Allah, and that there is, therefore, no point in depending on anyone who is not our rightful owner. Indeed, the only one we should turn to for help, for shelter, and for compassion, the only one we can depend on is Allah, the Lord of the entire creation. Allah is the only God, and we must address all our prayers and turn all our hopes and aspirations to Allah. Allah has absolute power over everything. Nothing is stronger than Allah. Nothing can stop His decisions. Nothing can prevent or even limit His will. Allah creates what Allah wants, does what Allah wants, and Allah has the power to implement any decision Allah makes. The will and power of Allah have no limitations. The might of Allah is more formidable than can ever be imagined by man through logical reasoning or in this wildest dream or in our wildest dream. I mean, the beauty and perfection of Allah's creation cannot be rendered by words or by pictures. Nature appears in front of our eyes in all its splendor, as if to force us to witness and reflect upon the greatness of the creation of Allah, which cannot be challenged by anybody. Human creations contain various flaws. For instance, even a book written by an expert in his field will have some mistakes. Anything created by the hand of man will have its own imperfections. We all can look at the creation of Allah once, twice, or any number of times until we become exhausted. We still will not find even a single tiny flaw in it. We only need to look at the sky at dawn to understand. First, darkness turns to grey, among which traces of red, yellow, and blue appear. Shortly afterwards, a red dish rises above the rest, as if heralding an important victory. Then a white flag unfurls in space, marking the end of the night with its 1,001 tales behind the curtain of darkness. And a bright new day has begun now. The perfection and miracle of the creation of Allah can be seen by anybody, regardless of social class, whether you are educated or illiterate, whether you live in a town or in the country, in the desert, in the mountains, or in the jungle. We could all witness the magic beauty of the creation of Allah. We can all experience awe and admiration, but not a single one of us can find any flaw in it. Firstly, we may be called back by Allah and die, or abandon our possessions, or lose our wealth, or give it to someone else, while Allah the Almighty owns life and death and also eternal life. Secondly, any claim to ownership other than the will of Allah vanish as soon as the day of judgment draws near. When Allah asks his creatures, "Who rules supreme today?" No one will answer, so Allah will answer himself, Allah, the one and mighty God. Therefore, there is no other ruler apart from Allah. The benefits that can be derived from the daily recitation of the name of Allahumma Ya Malik, Ya Malik, Ya Malik constantly will be honored and treated with respect to everyone. If you are a believer, recite the name Allahumma Ya Malik, Ya Malik, Ya Malik every day 121 times 121 times starting at dawn or when the sun starts going down afternoon. Allah will insha'Allah enrich you and open doors for him.
Say, baby, say, baby, what you doing? What you doing? Where you at? Where you at? Oh, you got plans. You got plans. Don't say that. Shut your trap. I'm sipping wine. Sip, sip. In a robe. Drip, drip. I look too good. Look too good to be alone.